With so much attention being put on our women's division, and especially Queen Aminata, she's one woman that I really want to sit down with and pick her brain about how she got here. Before we even got to sit down to do this, I've just heard little rumblings about how interesting your story is from point A to point B to getting you here. So, I mean, first things first, welcome to AEW. You've been doing such an amazing job here at AEW, at Ring of Honor. But I want to talk to you about your journey to pro wrestling, but also your journey from Africa to AEW to America. So let's start there. What kind of led to you wanting to make the move?
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for having me. I am super happy and proud to be part of the AEW, women's division. Honestly, I didn't even think I was going to make it to America, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Africa, and after university, I did private international law. So Dad figured, okay, well, go to France and do your license there and maybe your master's. I said, okay, Dad, I will do that. I ended up going to France and did my license, and I actually applied for the American visa without telling him because I'm like, I want to speak English. English is so cool. I want to do it. And just like that, I did it, and I got the visa. I was like, oh, I'm moving.
Okay.
I didn't tell Dad. So I went back home on vacation. I was like, by the way, Dad, I'm not going back to France. I am going to America.
What was his reaction?
He was like, well, I mean, you have the visa, right? I'm like, yeah. It's like, well, I guess I have to visit America now that my daughter is going to America because she's never been here.
Yeah.
So I ended up coming here and went to school to take my master's in private international law.
Okay.
But in the process, I used to work at Famous Footwear. And one of my friends said, hey, I used to train to be a pro wrestler, but it was too hard for me. I was like, wait, what?
Back up.
There's wrestling beside WWE because that's all I watched back home, It's like, oh, yeah, you have Independence, you have Ring of Honor, you have Impact. And I'm like,
ding, ding, ding.
Whoa. Give me the name. I have to go to this school. I was always into sports since I was little. I did soccer, I did boxing, and finally, when I came here, I was like, well, there's no dad, there's no mom. Let me just make my own decision. Not because I don't respect them, but I'm like, let me risk it. Maybe if I make it, then sure, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and finally ended up going to Ohio Pro Wrestling Academy, and my trainer told me, hey, I'm closing the gym because I have to relocate. I don't know how long it would take. I was like, I don't care. I'll wait.
Let me in, yeah.
So I actually started training to be a pro wrestler while traveling with the wrestlers on the road.
Okay.
I think after 6 months, then he reopened the gym. Then I started training with him.
So this is all happening, your life is building around you. What was that first bump like for you to finally get in that ring, to feel this dream start to come alive?
Honestly, I'm so stubborn. That's me. I feel like it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. The first bump was definitely not what I was expecting, but I was like, listen, if these girls can do it, I can do it, and I'm gonna do it better. So that was always my mindset. I'm like, I have to do it, I can do it, I'm gonna keep doing it. I just kept going,
It's so impressive to me to be able to do all of those things. I mean, those are all big mountains to climb. So then you get here, you get to AEW, but things don't go exactly as planned for you. Talk to me about some of the injuries and stuff that you went through.
Well, honestly, I started here as an extra. I did extra work since 2021. And my mindset changed at the end of I think 2020, I'm not good with dates. Probably 2022.
Yeah.
I ended up going to Japan, and when I came back, I was like, you know what? I don't care about getting signed anymore. I just want to have fun in the process. I just want to make a name for myself. Just do whatever I want to do. And a month later, I received an offer, and I was like, okay, well, this is about to change. And it was February 14th. I'm like, well, this is the love language of pro wrestling. Like, hey, I love you, let me love you back.
Yeah.
So my first match here was actually end of February 2022, no, 23, I think so, something like that.
Yeah.
That was against Sky Blue, and I injured my knee. But at first, I didn't think it was going to be that serious. But as I went to the doctor, I needed surgery, and I recovered completely, and the week that I came back to get clear to get back to, wrestling, I had my first seizure
God.
out of nowhere.
You've never had them
So-
ever before.
No, never, never, ever. So luckily for me, we decided to share the room, Sky and I. Like, hey, we travel together, we're best friends, let's just share the room. We shared the room and had 3 seizures in less than 24
Oh my
hours.
gosh.
Yeah. After that, doc told me, hey, you can't come back, you have to wait 6 months. I was so devastated. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, this is not right. Like, I worked my whole entire life
And
for
it's
this.
scary.
Yeah.
It's scary and devastating. Yeah.
So finally, I was like, you know what? This is a sign. Like, maybe I need to stay home and work on my cardio, get better, like spend time with my kids, spend time with mom, like all the good stuff that I need to do. So and that's what I started doing. And literally 6 weeks into my I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Take your time.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. We can stop down.
My dad passed from a heart attack back home.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take a minute. Take a sec. That's not easy to talk about. That's a lot of things all happening at once.
So yeah, I lost my dad in process.
Yeah.
And I asked CD, I know you guys told me not to go anywhere, but I need to fly back home to go bury my dad. And he said, okay. So I ended up going to Africa, and I stayed there for 4 months. And I honestly didn't think I was gonna come back to wrestling. I was ready, I was done.
Yeah.
Because I never got to tell him, hey, your daughter's a wrestler and she just got signed. Because that was always a dream of mine. Like, I'm gonna tell him when I make it. I got his phone when he passed. So when I landed, my brother gave me his phone because I'm the oldest daughter. So back home, the oldest daughter or son would take care of everything. So I went in his phone and I saw some of my pictures while I was wrestling Torian in Japan. And he knew I was a wrestler. I know one day he asked him about it. He's like, hey, I saw your picture. I was like, no, your daughter can't be that hot, Dad. Like, your daughter would never dress like that. I'm a good Muslim. I don't do stuff like that. He's like, oh, okay. But like they said, parents always know because I'm a mother now, so I know. I guess he was proud of me, but he just waited for me to come towards him, as he always does, and I never get to do it, so.
Yeah. Does it feel nice knowing that he did know at least what you had been doing? I mean, parents are going to follow us no matter what we're doing. They track us down, they see the things that we're doing, all that stuff. I mean, does that give you a little bit of like peace knowing that he was able to follow some of your career?
Yeah, that's why I came back.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to give it my all, you know?
Yeah.
Go hard or go home, because you only get to leave once. And that was a sign that, hey, you need to come back.
Yeah.
You need to just do what you've been working all these years. You need to be the best. You need to represent the whole continent. Like, you need to change something. Like, I don't know. It's just bigger than me now. It's just not pro wrestling.
How much pride do you feel in being able to be an African woman here in AEW and to be able to represent your culture and your country?
I mean, being proud would be literally an understatement. I take it day by day because I'm a firm believer when you work hard for something, you will get it.
Yeah.
Like, you will either get it mentally or you will get it like financially, something like that. So I think I got blessed both ways. It's not just a continent for me now, or women, or representing African women. It's all about representing the power of like how powerful we can be as women. You know, it doesn't
Hell
matter
yeah.
where you come from. It doesn't matter like if your background says you're Muslim like me and you can wrestle, you can have big dream because you come from a small country. You can have it all.
Yeah.
If you work hard for it, you can have it all, and you can be the best that you can be for yourself and for others.
Speaking of being able to have it all, I mean, for you to be able to be here, achieving your dreams, being a pro wrestler, having gone to school and been studying international, like you've been able to check so many boxes. You mentioned being a mother as well.
Yeah.
I mean, to add that into another layer of all of these things that you're doing, how do you juggle that? I mean, I know as a mother, for what I'm doing, trying to like, you're always trying to keep that ball afloat.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff going on, but what is that like for you?
I don't know. I can't tell people this is like how you're gonna do it. I just say try your best. If you feel like it's the right decision at that time, do it. And it's so important too to have a good relationship, somebody that supports you. And my husband is that for me. So I'm very thankful. And at the same time, I do a lot of meditation because I know it's so hard just being on the road and not seeing your kids and struggling financially and losing a parents. Like, you have so many things happening at the same time, but you just have to focus on the one thing you're doing one step at a time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's life.
I'm like so proud of you for being able to do all of those things and to have all these different hardships, and you're still here and you are making that impact. I mean, we can see just how great you are in the ring, but to have you here like representing women, representing African women, being a mother, I love it. I'm so happy that you're here, and thank you for telling us your story, because I mean, damn.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Excited to see more of Queen Aminata in AEW and Ring of Honor. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Yes.